Welcome to the New Normal Podcast. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and especially subscribe. We're trying to get to those 1,000 subscribers, so if you can help your boy out and hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be talking about Gayle King and Meg the Stallion interview. The reason we're going to talk about this interview is because I think this interview was a bunch of bullshit, quite frankly. The reason I say that is because Gayle King has to be the worst interviewer of all time. She did no pushing back on anything Megan said at all or whatsoever. One of the things that Meg said that she should have had a pushback on was kicking the glass out the window, and why did she lie, and why did she continue to lie even after she arrived at the hospital. That's something that should have been pressed on. When she said something about not having any sexual relationship with Tory Lanez, that should have been pushed back on, because we know that her friend came out and did a live and said that she found out her and Tory was having sex behind her back, and that was the whole argument. That was the whole argument in the truck, and why everything transpired the way that it did. We know that everybody was drunk, that it was a wild night, and even Megan saying that Tory stood up over the window shooting at her, and she said that her back was turned. Her saying that she got shot, but when she went to the doctor, she had bullet fragments in her Achilles, which would be the back of her foot, which would explain her having her back turned. So I don't know how she knew who shot her. Another question I would have asked would have been, did you get shot, or did you get shot at, or did the gun go off because somebody was wrestling with it? Because you didn't get shot by a bullet, you had bullet fragments, right? And that's very important. But like I said, this whole interview was bullshit to sway the public opinion, because people, as long as this case has been going on, the further and further it gets along, people are not believing Meg's story. The more and more it goes on, the longer and longer she has time to speak, the longer and longer more evidence comes out, like his DNA wasn't found on the gun, or it was inconclusive, and it wasn't found on the magazine. No fingerprints, no gunpowder residue on his hands. It was a lot of stuff that's actually coming out in his favor the longer this trial goes on. Am I saying she didn't get shot or someone didn't shoot at her? I'm not saying that whatsoever, but I think there's a lot of bullshit and things that were going on that she's not even telling the truth on. And now the friend is not speaking at all about what happened. That's weird, but I think she's been paid off by Megan and Rock Nation to not say anything. The reason I say that, because when she came out, she was all over, live, all over the social media talking, and you could listen to what she had to say about that night. The only person that hasn't really said anything is Tory Lanez, which is kind of not kind of, but it is some bullshit, because you could have a woman like Meg the Stallion go on this whole tour, victim tour. That's what we're going to call it, the whole victim tour, and to sway the public opinion, because she knows if she gets into court and the jury doesn't know anything about it, or haven't seen her side, and she hasn't swayed opinion enough to convict him, she's going to lose a lot of endorsements. And we know that she has been winning pity endorsements, pity hottie sauce, pity awards, pity Netflix deals. A lot of this stuff is just pity, just off of her being shot, right? Which is bullshit, because I feel like when you have two high profile people like Megan and Tory, both people should have a gag order. Neither one of them should be able to say anything. And now she's on a world tour, a pity world tour, saying what she wants, because she needs people to know that she's the victim. Even though the evidence does not substantiate the claims that she say. What was wild to me is how she answered the question about their sexual relationship. She paused, she looked down, she giggled a little bit as if this is a question that I know the answer to and I know the truth, but I'm going to lie. And she looked like she told a 100% complete lie. And everybody could see it on her face. That fake cry with no tears was bullshit. She was so much of a victim, she couldn't even force herself to fucking cry. That's how crazy this shit is, right? And the sentiment, I think, is the same around all of social media. They saying that it's bullshit. Her crying was fake. Nobody seen any tears. Even the way that she acted was bullshit, even in the interview. Which is sad, because I don't want people who actually go through issues like this to be written off as bullshit. But I'm going to be honest. I'm typically a victim blamer. And that's just me being 100% real about this shit, because I feel like she put herself in a position to be like that. Because if you fuck your man's friend and you get upset because he's flirting with Kylie, and now you belligerently drunk and y'all get kicked out of the house and shit like that, it's gonna spill over to something crazy, especially when a gun is present and can be used, you know. So those things are very important details. Also, when it comes to Gayle King, I feel like they always use her as a tool against black men. And I don't think she particularly likes black men. If it's saying fucked up shit about Kobe Bryant interviewing Lisa Leslie, this interview with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, if it's a interview with R. Kelly and his supposed love interest or sex slaves, whatever you want to call them, she is always seen to be used to pit black men and black women against each other. And this is what I don't like about this whole case, because you do have a black man and a black woman, and it seems like in the media we've already got this negative shit going on between us, that, you know, black women saying black men don't protect black women and do all this bullshit, when in fact we know that statistically women are more violent in relationships, but men don't report it as much as women do. This is a statistical fact. You can look this up and get all the information that you need. But like I was saying, this whole thing with Meg Thee Stallion is just a world tour to get people on her side, because people think that she's full of shit. And even in an interview, she looks like she's full of shit. And she didn't have the right counsel, and she needs to fire whoever told her this was a good idea. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we out. Peace.